everyone, welcome to the next video in this mushroom page from Small Victories by Johanna Basford. I'm going to be using Polychromos pencils again. Now let's have a look at our next little mushroom and see what we are going to do. So we have like a little mushroom shelter over two little houses with leafy roofs. Very sweet indeed. Now let's have a think. Now I think I might just start with the leaves because I know what colour I'm going to do them green. So let's grab a green. This is the permanent green. Oh, there you go. Let's start by putting a layer of permanent green on. Now I don't normally do green roofs on the houses, so it's a bit different. And yeah, it will make me think a bit about the actual colour of the house. Just trying to fill that all in. I'm going to make them the same, I think. They're drawn the same, aren't they? So it just seems to make logical sense, although you don't have to. I rather like the neatness of a symmetry. And there we go. So I hope everyone's good. It's a bit murky today. I'm hoping you can see okay. It's raining. We were very lucky yesterday, went out, not for long, but it was sunny, which was rather nice. This is the permanent green olive, and I'm going to use this to do a few darker areas on the leaves. I'm thinking this one here, look, it's tucked in underneath, so be a bit of shadow in there. It might just be dark all the way down. And I want to put a little darker bit here and here. I'm not thinking that's showing up very... Ooh, well, I was pressing way too hard. I think I'm going to grab something significantly darker. That, it shows a little bit. Let's put a little bit more in there actually, just so it sort of matches. Where should we go? I think this one might be a bit better. This is the chrome oxide green. See, it's a lot darker. Let's try this one instead. Yeah, we went out yesterday it was Monday yesterday, and husband had taken a long weekend, and the children were out at uni. And we went to look at a place locally that has lots of snowdrops. It's really pretty. Right, now I'm going to go back to my permanent green and just darken up all the rest of it really, just to sort of make it a little bit more even. Go through there. There we go. And hopefully it'll look okay once I sit back and have a good look. Yeah. Now the little houses, I think we could do them in a little bit of a brownish colour maybe. I think a nice warm brown. Maybe you don't like brown, but I think, no, that's not what I want. I want this, it's in the wrong place. This is the raw umber. Rather like it. I'm going to do the houses in that colour. Yes, so we went and had a little walk and look, these snowdrops. They're all the same variety, which is quite interesting, because before we went, husband was telling me, having been a gardener, about all the different varieties and how you look at them, and they're all different and they have different colours, you know, have bits of green in them and things like that, and different numbers of leaves, and they were all the same. But that was okay, they were beautiful. It just looked like snow on the grass. It's so pretty. We had a lot of fun, a bit of a walk, and you know, it was rather nice, quite hilly, the place we went to, but that was okay. And I wore my wellies because they're good grip, and it was quite muddy. So right, I'm going in with a darker brown now. This is the walnut brown. And I'm going to add in some shadows and some shape. I'm thinking I quite like these to look like they're rounded. So I'm going to make them a bit darker on the edges. Just scumble that out like that. A dark shadow underneath the leaf roof. And then in again like that. It just gives it a little bit of shape. You can see the difference. But we do this on this slightly larger house on this side. Oh, it's a train. My son had to go off to uni. He had a sort of lunchtime class, but he had a meeting first with his tutor. I think I'm going to use this dark colour for the door as well. I want it to look like it's wood. To talk about what modules he's to discuss his grades, and then talk about what modules he wants to take next year. So he had that, but he was going to go in a little bit later than he did. But I had the train app open on my phone just to check the trains first thing this morning, and then he decided which one he was going to get. I'm going to do the windows in the like yellow ochre. And so I had the app open and I was going in onto my tablet to look at Instagram to post a story, and I noticed the app said his train was cancelled. So I was like, oh. But luckily he had 5 minutes. This is the raw umber again. I'm going to do the chimneys. Luckily he had 5 minutes or 10 minutes to get ready to leave, and he could get the one before. So he did that, and then he messaged me later to say it was funny because it was actually early on the day when he didn't need it to be early, because he had left so much earlier than he needed. Back to our walnut brown to do the edges of the chimneys again. I want them to look a bit rounded. These chimneys are as high as the house. Enormous chimneys. Cute though. There we go. Okay. Now I'm thinking the grass underneath the houses, maybe I should use one of the same greens that I used already. I'm thinking I might use this permanent green olive. We use it sort of underneath, and I think it might just work. So I'm going to use that and then think about what to do with the mushroom. I'm sort of semi-procrastinating because I don't know what colour to do it to make it a bit different to excuse me, the other ones that we've done on the page. I think I need to forget the idea that I'm going to make them all really unique, because that's going to prove to be a little bit difficult, I think. Now, thinking a shadow on the grass. Let's have a look. Grab the chrome oxide green, but this actually spans over the whole thing. So actually we probably don't need a huge amount of shadow. I'm thinking maybe if we could just put a little bit around there and in front of our houses, it might just work, because you know it's all in quite a lot of shadow from this. It's like sheltering, isn't it? Little mushroom shelter. Let's do the stem and the gills part first, and then excuse me, and then we can go from there. I'm going to use the bistre. Now I usually do them grey, but I'm going to put a little bit of brown on, just to be a bit different, but I am going to use grey as well. So just to make it look more like a French grey like we get in our Prismas. We get warm greys, but we don't get French greys in our poly, so we can just put a little base of brown like that. And then I'm going to grab a warm grey, this one. Oh, except I dropped it. This is the warm grey 4. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to start with the gills part. So the top bit I always feel a bit darker, and then sort of scumble it in. I'm going to cover the whole thing, but hoping that the brown will show through a little bit. And then here the same. Oh, so I've got an itchy eye. feel like I want to go a little darker. Hold on. So let's grab this warm grey 5 just to do a bit of shadowing. Thinking really deep shadow in here. You could even go black or Payne's grey or something. Or, well, dark sepia rather than Payne's grey probably. I'm going to put one there. And then I'm going to grab a lighter grey for our stem. So this is the warm grey 3. It's hard to see that one, isn't it? And I'm going to go over the whole stem just lightly. And then a bit more on these edges. Because it's curved, there'll be some shadow down those sides. There we go. Just layer it up a little bit. Okay, let's leave that for now. Whoops, the page wants to move. And do our top, this sort of cap. I really ought to look at some and find out what colours they are, but you know, let's just go for a, yeah, let's grab a terracotta and see where that leads us. I think this sort of orange will go nicely. We've got orange next door here, but never mind. So I'm going to put down a fair bit here and then less towards our centre, like that. I'm just pondering what to do. I think I will put some brown on so that it looks a bit different to that one. Let's use the brown we've used before, the walnut brown. Save us fumbling around getting more browns out. I just want something quite dark. You see, I'm really putting down quite a bit here. And I'm gonna just smooth it out towards the middle. Same here. I'm going to put a bit underneath these as well. There we go. I'm going to go back to my terracotta and add a bit more intensity. So now I can go over the top of that brown. There we go. And just work those layers. A bit less in the middle. I want it to look quite bright. Sometimes nice to sit back and have a little look. See how it's coming along. There we go. Now what are we going to do with these little circles? Well, I think maybe just grab the warm grey 3 and so leave a bit of white underneath. And fill the rest. Somehow it gives a little bit more of a three-dimensional look, and I think we can aid that with our gel pen. Just looking for the Jelly Roll 8. I think if we get rid of the black at the top, not that bit, because that's the top of our actual toadstool, like that, it helps a bit. And then maybe just a tad of shine, trying to figure out what side to put it on. Just putting it all on the same side. There, maybe. There we go. I think I'm going to leave that there actually. Just having a look. Quite happy with that one. There we are. I like this sort of earthy tones on it. Tomorrow we'll do something lighter and prettier. I think we've got a sort of magic going on there, so that'll be interesting. But for today I think that's done. I'm happy, as I say. You could make your stem a little bit darker, things like that, but no, I'm happy. So thank you for watching, hoping that you have a really super day, and happy colouring.